Hello, my name is Christian Malat, and I will be analyzing the statement of cash flow for Tesla Incorporated. As we think of a cash flow statement, essentially this tracks the income and outflow of cash on a day-to-day basis in a variety of different business activities. There are three main sections that we are going to be focusing on and analyzing for Tesla specifically. The first of which being the operating activities. This covers a variety of different things, such as non-investment and financing activities, which we will cover on. These are day-to-day business activities. So as we think of primary sources of cash flow for their operating activities, we look at their accounts receivable, people paying their debts to Tesla, and also their reduced net loss over overcoming operational expenses over the years. Their primary outflow of cash for their operating activities looks like buying materials to produce raw inventory, their accounts payable paying their own debts, and their stock-based compensation paying those who own stock in the company. Next up, we look at their investing activities. So when we think of Tesla investing in their own company, such as buying properties, buying producing factories, construction, things like that, that's a primary source of cash outflow for them. Over the years, we've seen different phases in the Tesla model, and currently they have already overcome the large influx of cash outflow in their investing, and they have now plateaued. So primarily, a couple of years ago, they were purchasing a lot of subsidiaries and producing a lot of factories, and now they're seeing a decrease in that. Now we look at the financing activities for Tesla Incorporated. This can include a variety of things, including issuing common stock, proceeds from debts, things like that, and repayments of debt. So Tesla actually has a large amount of common stock issued to the public, and so a very, very substantial portion of this cash outflow will be not only paying the shareholders, but also receiving, people buying shares in Tesla. As we look at the differences between net income and cash flow, we see some subtle nuances which differentiate them. Mainly, the cash flow represents the in and outflow on a day-to-day basis, while the net income represents the total profitability of a company. So one thing that does kind of tie them together is that the net income is the precursor to determining the cash flow. So we can't determine the cash flow without knowing what the net income is. Basically, we take the net income and then break it down into smaller portions so we can see what is actually happening with a company's cash. Their cash has been very interesting over the past few years. People have been saying that their net income has been a loss over the past 3 or 4 years, but we are seeing some financial strengths rise from this. So in 2016, we could classify that in their cash flow statement as a year of pre-funding for current and future investments, such as buying land, starting up construction, and kind of setting the groundwork for success. 2017 was the year of investing, kind of outflowing. Their outflowing cash was just about equaling their raising inflows. So that was kind of an equalizing year for them. And then 2018 represents the year where Tesla almost became self-funding. So cash inflow from operations almost equaled the cash outflow from investing. So this is a very positive thing. While many people focus on the fact that their net income year after year has been negative and they're not producing profit, I would beg to differ that their cash flow statement represents a slow and subtle growth in the direction of being self-sustaining. As we look at company weaknesses, however, Tesla does have some financial weaknesses. They are known to spend a lot of money and a lot of money fast. So their operational expenses and paying their debts, they have billions and billions of dollars each year, which they are outflowing. So recently, Tesla has been posting negative outflow and cash flow amounts, and about $1.1 billion in negative cash flow in one quarter recently, and then consecutive quarters of negative free cash flow. So this would represent a challenge for Tesla to be paying back their debts to many of their investors and companies which they have been receiving capital from. So all in all, Tesla's cash flow does trend towards the positive. People are pretty concerned with how they have been managing their funds, but we're optimistic for the future. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.